Hello everyone, Victoria is here and welcome to my art therapy project for a mom. So, what is new today? First of all, it's a rainy day and I belong to those people who really love rain because it's the most cozy time and the best and the most inspiring time to do art. I love to crawl, under the blanket and read a book or write a story or, put a hot chocolate next to me and draw something and listen some music. It's really beautiful. So I'm always very inspired by the rain. And if you hear noise of a little giggling baby, it's just my son outside of this room, playing with my husband. I hope he doesn't make too much of noise, and I hope you still can hear my voice. Well, so what I want to share with you today I want to share with you my son's experience of meeting a butterfly. I don't know about you, but when I was a little girl, I loved butterflies so much, and I always wanted to catch one, and I wanted to look at wings, just to look at every single detail, because nature is the best artist ever. So I was so curious, and I didn't know that if you catch a butterfly and you touch its wings, you actually kill it. And my mom explained that to me later, but back then I didn't know, so I caught lots of butterflies. And I think they were really terrified seeing me around. Well, I saw my son having the same fascination with butterflies, only he was much younger. I mean, he is still much younger than my memory of butterflies, but he didn't walk when he saw butterfly first time, and he knew how to stand, and he had that little jumper. We bought him this jumper. I don't know how to describe it, but it's really big, very secure, and he can just jump and jump all day long. And my son is a jumper. He can jump for hours. I think really for hours. He would take a breaks, of course, but then he would jump again, and this jumper is a lifesaver for us. Especially when my son was around like 5 or 6 months, he learned how to sit very early. He was holding his head very early. Like he reached all the milestones, like physical milestones, pretty early, which was really great and at the same time challenging because we sometimes couldn't catch up with him. So while he was jumping in that jumper, he had this butterfly teasing him. This butterfly just would fly around him, and he tried to catch it so badly, and he would cry because he couldn't reach it, and it was just so funny. And butterfly, I don't know, was it teasing him on purpose, or it just felt pretty safe around him because it knew that it's impossible to catch it. So butterfly was just like, fluttering in the circles, and my son would just jump and and stare, and he would clap his little hands. And it is really funny memory. So I decided to write a story, and let me read it for you. I hope you will enjoy it. So Kit meets a butterfly. Little Fox loved to move around, and though his paws were still very tiny, he could run and jump without ever getting tired. But he was very young and still pretty clumsy. It often looked like his paws tried to run ahead of him, and his back ones and front ones were in a contest of sorts. It seemed like they never could agree much with each other, and so Little Fox stumbled and fell as often as not. But jumping was a completely different story. No one was as good at jumping as Little Fox. Not Mama or even Papa. No one could jump for as long as Baby Fox could. One morning, Little Fox woke up, ate his breakfast, and practiced his morning jumps. Then asked his mother for permission to visit his best friend Dandelion. Mama let him go since Dandelion lived so close to their den. "Just be careful and don't hurt yourself running, and don't go too far from home," she said. Instead of running, he just jumped. He was a very good jumper, if you remember, and it only took him 2 jumps to reach the glade where Dandelion lived. "Hello, Dandelion," he greeted his friend. But Dandelion was staring up at the sky. He just said hello back to Little Fox in a sort of distracted way. Little Fox looked up at the sky too, but he didn't see anything worth staring at, and let out a big yawn. What are you looking at?" he asked. Dandelion only nodded and let out a little sigh and kept staring up at the same place in the sky. So Little Fox looked more carefully and saw something tiny fluttering way up in the air. It spun around a couple of times like a leaf, then drifted gently down to settle on a nearby flower. Look at how beautiful she is," Dandelion said with an even bigger sigh. "What is she?" asked Little Fox. "Don't you know anything? She's a butterfly," he answered. "A butterfly?" Little Fox repeated. "I want to meet her more than just about anything," said Dandelion. "Why don't you just say hello?" asked Little Fox. "Because I'm not beautiful like she is," he replied. "Besides, there are so many other flowers around that, so many better looking than me. I'm just a dandelion," he said. "She wouldn't even notice me." "We will see about that," said Little Fox, and in just a couple of jumps he landed right next to the butterfly resting on a nearby flower. You should have heard that little butterfly squeal from surprise when she suddenly saw Little Fox. She leaped straight up into the sky and was about to flutter off even higher when Little Fox called out, "Hey, wait! Where do you think you're going? There is someone who wants to meet you." But Butterfly flew even higher and said with a huff, "I don't talk to rude people," and flew off. Little Fox suddenly felt bad and started crying. He didn't know what she meant by rude, and he really didn't understand why Butterfly flew off like that. He was just trying to be friendly after all. He felt so bad and cried so loud that his mama heard him and came out to see what all the fuss was about. She licked her little cub's nose and asked him what had happened. Little Fox told her all about it and cried even more. Now, don't cry, my little kid," she said. "Butterfly didn't want to hurt your feelings. It's just that you hurt hers too. You scared her with your jump, and when you want to meet someone or make a friend, you should be polite and try not to surprise them like that. And you should never yell, 'Hey!' Just say hello instead and be nice, and I'm sure you will make lots of friends that way." Little Fox promised his mama that he would try better next time, and the very next morning when he saw Butterfly, the first thing he did was say he was sorry surprising her and for being so rude and yelling, "Hey!" Butterfly was much nicer to him after that, and she wasn't scared at all. They became great friends. Little Fox even got to introduce her to his friend Dandelion, and they all spent that whole day together, having lots of fun on the glade in the sun. And just so you know, Butterfly thought that Dandelion was really very cute. She even thought he was handsome. Thank you for listening this story. I hope you liked it. And I have to go to my little son. I hope I will be able to write another story next week, or maybe in a couple weeks. Who knows? I have a baby after all. Well, you have a great day. Lots of love to you all. Stay healthy. Bye-bye.